Hey. Let me share something else with you guys, man. Let me share something else. Let me share this today of sharing. Probably about you too. So listen, man. It was this place, man. It was this time in my life, right? That, I had did so many things, but I didn't know there was documentation because I kept relating myself to how people was gonna view me. Because of how when you talk to family or friends, how people always talk to you so much about 30 or 40 years ago, you start relating it to it mentally, and you forget about what's current or what didn't happen thus far. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm preparing to go to this place, right? To this big old place, right? Foreign to me, because it's these people that's, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking about how I'm gonna have to respond to this, how I'm gonna have to respond to that. I got a shirt tie on, you dig? I'm all together, you know, and this is me. So I go down to this place, into this big building, go to probably the 30 something floor, go down this plush carpet, walking down the hall, go to the corner. I'm sitting in the lobby now waiting before I go in to something like, let's say, a deposition. It's deposition, right? So I got an attorney with me and I got somebody else with me, right? We sitting there, we talking or whatever, but I'm still nervous. I'm still nervous. I'm still nervous. Because I don't know how I'm going to respond to these people behind the doors because they go, it's Stafford Garrett, so and so. So I get up, your heart pound. I'm just being honest. So go down the hall, go in there. So now I'm sitting, got to wait for another 10 minutes, for the judge to come in, for these people to come in. Everybody's sitting around. So you're intimidated by everybody because you don't know who anybody is. Everybody come through. They don't come in at the same time. Everybody come with their briefcase. They sitting down, so and so. So here it is. The judge started talking. He mentioned my name. So that's when it then became important that let me know that I was important. I was an important person here. But when he started talking, he was looking at papers on his desk, and he was talking to me, and he's looking at the papers. But he didn't talk to me about any of my anxieties, any of the things that I felt that I was intimidated by, things that I was going to I thought, have to explain. He was talking about my accomplishments. See, he didn't talk about the things 40 years ago. He talked about everything from now to 25, 30 years moving forward. And I was shocked. He wasn't asking me about it. He was telling me about it. He was telling me, man, all of my walks, where I been, what I done. He told me about my prerequisites at Malcolm X. He told me about the meetings. He told me who the dignitaries were. He told me when I went to a culinary school. He told me everything, man. And he was smiling. And then he understood the different things and the different trials and tribulations, even though it's like the elephant in the room that we wouldn't talk about. See, say, so what's your point? When you achieve and make your accomplishments, man, what made you succeed was disassociating yourself with the things that you were once was a part of. That's why you succeeded. Once you succeed in those areas, when you go back and you start socializing with the things that weren't there when you was going through your different trials and when you were succeeding, those things try to convince you that you were that person that 40 years ago. They don't know about your accomplishments. See, by the way, the judge talked about my therapists and counselors and all that too. That he knew their names and he knew dates, times, everything, man. See, you don't have to explain anything. Fast forward. When you wonder why things are going the way they are now, you know why the enemy is not successful with what they're doing. It's because there's documentation. See, before with other people, it was because they were slumber, they was drunkard, they was lax, they was compromising with different things that they shouldn't have been compromising with, and they had allowed access to people to come into their lives who they trusted, whether they was friends or whether they was relatives. See, and long as there's a conspiracy and everybody's working out the same book on the same page, it's easy to cover up anything and make it seem like what it is. Even though the people on the other side will be questioning it because some just don't sound right. But we don't have nothing to go on. Nobody's pursuing it in another area, and everybody's saying the same thing. Okay, we'll go along with it, even though that's not what it is. Something ain't right with this. Matter of fact, it was a similar situation. It was a similar situation. It was a similar situation. Yeah, we know what this is. See, when there's documentation And when you put security on yourself, people try to make you think like something is wrong with you, but there's people somewhere that understands exactly what's going on because it has happened 20, 30,000 times before. When people get hungry and when people run out, they do anything to succeed or survive. And they sacrifice the most vulnerable, the one that we can't get anything out of, the one we can't benefit anything from, is the one is the next person up. Just like the animals in the woods. Survival of the fittest. See, nothing wrong with knowing, but there's a whole lot wrong with not knowing. Whatever God speaks to you through your heart, whatever he speaks to you to your mind about different things, listen, man. Don't ignore what he says to you. See, and you think like God coming to say, hey, this is this and that's. No. God speaks to you through a spirit, man. He gives you discernment, perception to understand things without words. Your experiences combined with what happened in the past, the identity of people, all that combined together. It's not something you got to sit and scratch your head and think about. It is what it is, man. And you don't even have to repeat it or say it. Just move on it how it is. When people talk to you foreign, I don't care if 20 people talk to you foreign. Don't even know what God told you in your spirit. See? When he talked to the spirit man, you listen to them and like, yeah, okay, right. Matter of fact, you put them with the other ones. In some cases, you tell yourself, okay. But then some of them listening to you, they know ain't nothing wrong with you. They know you know what you're talking about. And they know it's dangerous. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. Once again, my name is Stafford Gary. And I approve this message.